Marichu, a nanny from the Philippines who has been working in the Bahamas for the last 7 years. She's going to share her job experience, and we hope you'll enjoy getting to know her. Hi, Marichu, and thank you for being here with us.
Hi, how are you? It's
Great,
great as well for
thank
you
you.
having me and for having this interview with me. It's my
Thanks
pleasure.
a lot. We are very, very pleased to have you here. And let's start with some information about you. How
Mhm.
old are you? And how did you decide to become a nanny?
I am 46. I'll be turning 47 on the 7th of November.
Mm-hmm.
And then way back in the Philippines, I worked as a call center agent for 8 years before I decided to work as a nanny in another country. But I am lucky that somebody from the Bahamas decided to hire me. And the reason for that is my children um, was about to go to college that time,
Mm-hmm.
7 years ago. And I was thinking that my salary working in the Philippines will not be enough sending them to college. That's why I decided to get a job abroad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice. How are they now?
They're fine. My eldest daughter is a nurse.
That's
Yeah,
great.
she graduated 5 years ago. My second daughter is about to graduate in July,
Mm-hmm.
and my youngest son graduated 2 years ago and is working online IT, work from home because of the pandemic.
Oh, that's
Yep.
very nice.
And they are the reason why I am here because I really want them to finish their studies because nowadays it's very hard to
Yeah,
look for a job if you are,
yeah.
yeah, if you don't have college degree. So there.
Um, my next question would be about your experience living abroad before you became a nanny. Did you have this experience?
Um, well, to consider, I my situation is different from other nanny housekeepers who left their children when they were little because my youngest was 17 and I know that they can handle themselves.
Yep.
And for homesickness, I don't care that I don't really experience that because of
Mhm.
the technology that we have right now. There's Messenger, there's Skype, and all other platforms. You can see them most of the time if you want to, you
Exactly.
know. But unlike before, because of the technology, you will be like, oh, how what happened to my children? And because they are already older, it's a different experience with other friends of mine who has like 5 years old, 7 years old when they come to another country to work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, okay. The next question is more technical. It's about
Hmm.
the visa. Did you need a visa to go to the Bahamas? And
Yes. Hmm.
yeah, was it easy to get one?
Um, Actually, my housekeeper found me on a website too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that I am the 13th interviewee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she interviewed like different people from different, mostly Filipinos because she likes Filipino in
Mhm.
particular. So most of them are working abroad too in Hong Kong and different countries. But when she interviewed me, and she's like, you're the one. And with all the process, I guess she went through the immigration here, and she asked what's gonna be the requirements, and then
Mhm.
she sent it to me like the police record. You have to have your health certificates. I went to the hospital to have all the general checkup, and I sent it to her. And then she sent me the visa. When it was approved, she sent me the visa and the work visa through DHL
Ah,
because it's a card. It's like an ATM card, the visa here. It's
ah,
unlike different country that you will, it's like a paper or something. Ours
mhm.
is like a visa card, an
That's very
ATM card. Yeah, it looks
cool.
like that.
Yeah, that's interesting because for different countries, sometimes it's
Mhm.
like sticker in your passport.
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's why when I was at the airport, they like hold me for a little bit. I was like, "Oh, what? Why is your visa like this?" And this is our first time because they are used to the immigration people are used to the visa that was sticked in
Yeah.
the passport. So and then they checked it. So they went to the higher officer at the immigration and said, "Yeah, that's valid," because they thought that I just got it somewhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
I know, right? Yeah. So
that's
okay.
interesting.
Mhm.
That's very
Yes,
good
I
to
know.
know. Yeah,
And it's my
because
first time as well. It's my first
yeah,
time. I was like, why is the visa like this? Is this real?
yeah,
Yeah,
that's good to know for people who are going there not to be confused.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, if you remember 6 years ago, what were your fears and doubts before leaving for this job?
My fears and doubts because all the process are online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's gonna be a risk not only on my side but as with the employer as well,
Yeah.
because during interviews you can say things which is not true. Like say for example, if you are the interviewer, ask me if you are this, if you're hardworking. Of course, I can say yes, I am, but I
Mm-hmm.
am not. And then the employer as well will tell you that, oh, I'm good like this, and then you will only realize or find things out when you are already together. So my doubts are, what if, you know, that she
Yeah.
is like this and she's not going to treat me well. And at the same time as well, thinking about it, I also think that she has as well the doubt that if
Yeah.
she is going to be hardworking, she's going to take care of my children well. And I am so happy that it turned out well. The first time I came in here, I was like, okay, my first week, second until the second month, I was like, okay, I guess this is a great place for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
my fears were all gone. And to think as well that I didn't, when I check it online, the Bahamas doesn't have like a record of like employers mistreating their housekeepers
Mhm.
or their nannies and everything, unlike any other country, that you can hear online. So it's a good thing as well.
Mhm. Uh, do you feel yourself a part of this family already because you've been with them
Yes,
for so many
yes.
years?
And you know what's funny? Because the children call me mommy.
Oh, that's so
Yeah,
cute.
yeah, I know. And there are times as well that when the mommy and I were, in one place, "Oh, mommy, mommy," and then we both like, yes. And then it's like, and then the mama will say yes. And then the child will say, no, not you, my mommy. So, yeah, I know. So the children are so attached to me, especially the little girl, the youngest,
Mhm.
because when I came in here, she was 6 months old and now she's 7.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's just like the only thing that's missing is I gave birth to the child. Then I I actually like she
raised
grew
her.
up with me,
Yeah,
raised her. Yeah, yeah, as
mm.
my own.
that's that's really really
I
nice
know.
experience. Yeah,
I
like
know. So it's
so
it's
amazing.
hard for me. Not really it's hard for me, but my heart was like, what's gonna happen if I go? But as the saying goes that you have a life as well. You have to, even if you really wanted to spend whatever life you have with them, but you have a life as well. I'm not telling that I will be, if I found another employer, then it's gonna be like, oh, I will stay here for 2 months, but or 2 years. But some employers as well will understand as well that after our work, after our contract, we have a family as well
Yeah,
and lives to take care of.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, then let's move a bit further and talk about your nanny experience.
Mhm.
Uh, how did you start looking for a family? Did you look somewhere else apart from our platform? And maybe you
Mhm.
could share a bit more about the options for the living nanny. there?
Actually, I created my account
Mhm.
2012, if I can remember it correctly. And I was working in the BPO industry prior to that. And because my children were still like little, and I really don't have the desire to work abroad because I don't want to leave them.
Yeah.
I only realizes it when I need more income for me to support them because I am a single mother of
Mhm.
three.
Yeah.
So I created the account, but it was just there. I didn't even like check on it. I can receive an email notification that a family, wants to, but I will just check on it, but I don't respond. I did not do anything until 6 years ago. The company that I worked for closed.
Oh.
And yes,
Mm.
and I did not as well decide to work abroad because I am earning a lot. Aside from my basic pay, I am getting commission for every like sales that I am
Mhm.
getting. So what I'm getting in the Philippines is much more higher than what other workers are getting abroad, you
Mhm.
know. But when the company closes, and considering in the Philippines that it is hard if you are older,
Mhm.
because the requirement is like 27 years old, below that you're going to be
Yeah.
single. So I said, okay, it's time for me to move on. Until when my company closed, after a month or so, I received an email from my employer uh, telling me that I wanted to do an interview. And I said, oh my God, maybe this is the sign I need to do this interview. And that's it. And then everything turns out well.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
your basically first family became a perfect one for you.
Yes. Yes. And ever since I came to the Bahamas, they are the employer that I am with until now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I
Yeah,
know.
it's like the first experience turned out to be the real
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. Because considering that some other friends of mine that were here, they had a bad experience, like, and then they already like moved three families. And then,
Mhm.
so I am lucky, So even if you will not ask me how my employers will be, then definitely my stay here for 7 years will answer the question,
Yeah.
what kind of family they are. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
Um, okay. Maybe you could share your experience in negotiation and paperwork because you said a bit about visa, but
Mhm.
did you sign a contract right away? Did you negotiate about the salary? How was
Mhm.
the process?
Okay. Yeah, what happened was the most of the housekeeper that was here, the process that the process that they've been through is like three three or something month, like 2 to 3 months.
Mhm.
But with my case, it it's 6 months, because what happened was, my employer submitted to the Philippine government, like Philippine Overseas Employment Administration.
Mhm.
You will download the form there. The employer will download the form, and then she will sign it. It's stating all the Philippine government wants to protect their worker as well. So
Mhm.
they indicated certain things in there that, the housekeeper needs to be this, she needs to have like 7 days, 2 days off in a week, and the employer needs to agree with that. Okay.
Mhm.
And then what happened was there was certain, um, I guess, phrase there, or a rule there that she did not like agree. When she submitted it, they they sent it back,
Mhm.
because you need to comply with what the government, because they always want to protect their worker,
Yeah. Yeah.
if you understand me. So she downloaded the form, she signed it, and she sent it to me through email. I scanned it and I signed it, and
Mhm.
then send it through DHL, if I can. remember it right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But with the payments and everything, she shouldered everything. Like she sent me the money for the health, what do you call that?
Insurance?
The no. The medical,
Ah.
to get the police record and everything. So I can say I did not spend any single
Mm-hmm.
amount apart from, like, going here and there and your allowances and everything. But for
Mm-hmm.
the processing of the papers, she did everything.
That's also a nice experience.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, uh, I don't think I asked if you're working for a single mom or for a family.
Yeah. For a family,
For
mom
a
and
family.
dad and two children.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. And how are your relationship with the host kids? Because you said that they call you mommy, but
Hmm.
did they like accept your presence
Hmm.
right away, or how was it?
Well, I can say that I salute them as well,
Mm-hmm.
because with my experience and other experiences with my friends that they're telling me about their experiences working with their employer, you have to, like, a nanny and the parents needs to go as one. you
Yeah.
know if the nanny will implement this, then the mommy should not contradict with whatever, because it will only make the child, it's like, oh, my mommy said that, and why did you say this? And of course the children will listen more to the mother or to the parents than you, because you are just a nanny. But with my experience here, whatever I say, which I know that that's the right way, like to train them and whatever, then they will not, like, contradict with me.
Mm-hmm.
And if the child will go run to them and say, oh, mommy wants me to do, I said, no, she said do that, and you have to do that, which is, I am very thankful. And of course, if they think as well that I'm doing the wrong thing,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they will talk to me as, oh no, we don't like that. But never in my experience here, because they're busy. The father is working in the morning until the night, and then the mom works from home. She is a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
She's just busy, even if she's just inside the house, but she spends most of her time in her office editing photos. So
Mm-hmm.
I literally dealing with the children when they're home, apart
Mm-hmm.
from, of course, when they are at school. Right now, they're not here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, and how is your relationship with the parents? Because with kids, we understood
Mm-hmm.
they are
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Yeah. I don't have any problem with them. Yeah, because it's a it's a two-way street, as they say,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I guess if you have an understanding, if you think as well that your housekeeper is doing well, then you have to, as at least give them as well, the things that they really want,
Yeah.
in life. It's just that you have to, like, give them appreciation if there's a need to, like, if they're doing a good job. And for sometimes as well, you have to, like, give them freedom, apart from, like, you only have 2 days off. But
Mm-hmm.
for housekeeper, like, if you will tell them, oh, we're just here, you can go out and as an extra, well, that will be like, for us it will be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they appreciate us. So we don't have any problem with that
Yeah,
at all. Yeah.
that's cool.
Hmm.
Um, could you maybe paint for us your typical day as a nanny?
Oh, um, when I came in here, I uh, I can finish my work like until 10 o'clock at night, because the little girl doesn't love to sleep.
Okay.
So I put her on my lap like until she goes to sleep, and sometimes she will just observe me. She pretended she's sleeping, and then when I put her down, so. But right now, because they're growing up, it's
Mhm.
a lot easier. So typically, 5:30 I start to go and have a shower. 6 I need to start working. Um, Cook breakfast for them, pack them lunch, and then after that, tidy, of course, the kitchen, and then bathe them, drop them to school. Like
Mm-hmm.
right now, the mom is not around for 4 days, so I am dealing with them, dropping them to school. But sometimes the mom does that in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and after that, when they come back from school around 2:30, like today, I will
Mm-hmm.
pick them up, and then after that they have music. Once they come home, I will feed them snack or whatever, and then we will go to I will drop them to music lesson and then come back. But before, they have like swimming,
Mm-hmm.
ballet, so I will drop from one place to another driving. Yeah. And um, and when they come back from school, we have to do the homework because I tutor them as well. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to make sure that the homework is finished before they can watch TV. But sometimes as well, if the weather is good, we can work with this, play with their scooter. We can go to
Mm-hmm.
the beach because the beach is just 5 minutes away from here.
That's nice.
I know, right? And in the Bahamas, the white sand and the blue water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can walk the dog, play with them. So whatever activities that they will make them busy and active for the day. But sometimes if I feel like I'm lazy sometimes I will just stay home and they're watching TV. So that's it. And bathe them, feed them. I also cook. So I
Mm-hmm.
cook for the family. And then after I cook, I feed them and then bathe them. And right now, because they are already older, so they go to bed by themselves. But before, I used to put them to bed, read them some stories. And that's, but right now, after the shower, they can just go to sleep around 8 o'clock. Yeah, that's my day.
That sounds nice.
Plus, yeah, plus the ironing, the cleaning, the mopping,
Okay.
the the ironing, the washing of everything apart from the nanny
Mm-hmm.
thing. So literally, I'm a all around
Mm-hmm.
nanny plus driver plus housekeeper. You know,
Yeah, that's like I don't know how would the family live without you. uh,
I don't know as well. Yeah.
okay, so it was your first time in the Bahamas, as I
Yes.
understood, and
Hmm.
it's a different culture
The
from the
Philippines.
Philippines. Yeah.
Mhm.
You speak English at home, right?
In the Philippines, no. In
No,
here,
no, in here, yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
English is their first language.
yeah. Uh, did you try to teach them Filipinos, or did they
Yes.
ask? Yeah.
No,
How was?
yeah, I taught them like the Filipino of ABCs, some Filipino songs, like the national anthem, some Filipino like games and everything, and they like it. Sometimes I teach them like simple crazy things.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like when I teach them, I say, "What's that, mommy?" I said, "Psh, that's a joke." Yeah,
Oh.
but because their cousin has a Filipino nanny as well for 19 years with them,
Mhm.
so she learned a lot of Filipino. And in their class, because there are Filipino nurses and doctors here, so there
Mhm.
is in some schools there are Filipinos in one class, a lot of
Mhm.
them. So during let's say they have something at school, like an event, the teacher, the advisor will ask the children to perform Filipino song, and they will teach everybody in school with that.
Mhm.
Let's say the whole song. They will listen to it on YouTube and download the paper, and they will learn from it. So
Mhm.
yeah, they learn as well that in school.
Yeah. Speaking of that, of different cultures, what was the most difficult or maybe weird to deal with in your host country when you first arrived?
Um, Difficult. I don't find it difficult apart from when I came, you don't know where to go. And the place where I live in is just a small, this is just a small area. There's no mall in here. Okay. So when you are new to the country, you don't know where Western Union is. And I don't find it very difficult because I understand and speak English, you know, and there's no barrier. And plus, the people in the Bahamas are very warm as well. They're very warm. They will not treat you as you are a foreigner in here.
Yep.
What's the? I guess none. I like it here better than the Philippines, because in the Philippines there's much traffic. I mean, here you will be in the airport in less than 5 minutes, you know,
Yeah.
because there's not much car. And in the Philippines, it's like bumper to bumper. Like 1 hour, you'll be in the airport for maybe a 20 minutes supposed to be drive, you know. So I don't think there's not much. I can't remember any. I
But
don't know.
maybe if you think about like food or traditions or I don't know, holidays, that something like that.
I know for food because I am not picky with food. So my lady employer is a Nigerian, and yeah, and then is she loves spicy food or something. But I'm now in the house. I'm cooking Filipino food and they're eating it because I
Ah,
was the one who cooked, and they cook Filipino food and they don't complain about it. Because if they do, then most probably they will not ask me to. Oh, don't cook that. I don't like it. But I'm cooking every day, so most probably we have this Filipino food that's very very famous. It's called adobo. I don't know if you heard about it. It's just a chicken with slices and everything. And when I started cooking that, the children was like, "Mommy, can you cook us adobo?" And yeah, but for food, because I can eat whatever, so I guess I don't have problem with that at all. And with the holiday as well, if there's a holiday and I am off most of the time, and when I work in a call center, we observe US American holidays, so I am used to it as well. I don't have any problem with that.
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you were mostly very, very prepared and also know things about food. That's perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you are um, experiencing still sounds really, really nice. So I'm going to ask, were there anything that you didn't like during your experience?
Oh, okay. I want to be honest. Okay. The only thing that I don't like is that because she works as a photographer, and so sometimes holidays for me is not observed. Like because weddings here, she is a destination photographer. So most of the people from Canada, from the US, most of the time, they want to come here to have a wedding. And of course, most of the wedding is held like Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
And it's very sad because my day off is a weekday off and I am spending it by myself because most of the Filipinos have Saturdays and Sundays off, and most of the time, if she is working from another island, then I will not be spending holiday as we call it, because I cannot like tell her, no, you can't go because that's their job. And I basically that's it. Like day off that you want to spend time with your friends as well, but you have to understand that you have a job that's the you come in here to work, so you have to adjust as well, because that's an important thing that she needs to do. But apart from that, there's nothing much that I don't like. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. And you said that your employer travels a lot, and I was going to ask if you traveled during your nanny stay somewhere around.
No,
No.
No.
But did you travel home or your?
Yeah, the
Mhm,
first time I was here, after 3 years, I went home.
mhm,
And then after 2 years, and then 2 years. So I went home 3 times in seven
mhm,
years. Yeah, every 2 years. And it's a 2 weeks paid holiday,
mhm.
and every year. So I have 1 month every 2 years. And I usually spend my holiday for 2 weeks, for no, 2 weeks, not 2 weeks, 2 months or 8 weeks in the Philippines.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Did your kids come uh, to visit you?
No,
No.
no, because it's gonna be expensive. Like
Yeah, that's
I
true.
will shoulder the what do you call this? The plane ticket and the visa fee, and it's very expensive. How I wish, how I wish
Yeah,
I can.
yeah.
But what happened when I go home? I see to it that I spend most of the time, especially when they're home and they're not at work and they're not before the pandemic. So I make it a point that we go out for dinner together. If my son is off at work, or sometimes he will file days off or leave, so that you know we we can spend time together. And the
Mm.
hardest part is like, oh, so you're going tomorrow? Oh, you're gonna be. They are counting the days actually. It's like, oh, mom, you're going on the 16th, for example. I said, yeah, there's nothing that I can do. I need to work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a sad part.
Wow. Okay.
I know, right?
Yeah, but you did everything for them, so that's a nice
Yep, yep.
thing. Um, I wanted to ask you, what
Mhm.
would be the advice you maybe want to give to future nannies or maybe even au pairs who want to go abroad?
My advice is just they have to go for whatever they dreamt of. Okay,
Mhm,
if they think that being far away from the family will give them, how should I say it? Like they give them what's the term for that? Or maybe it will help them,
mhm,
for whatever finances. The only thing that I can advise to them is that make sure to treat your host or your employer's family as your family,
mhm,
because that's where everything will work out fine.
mhm,
Because if you treat the children as your family, then you can't do anything like to harm them, because that's a family. And then just be hardworking, be honest, and just do what are the things that you're supposed to do and the employers ask you to do.
mhm.
They are still the employers. If you have certain things that you wanted to do, but they they will tell you, no, I don't want that, I need this. So you have just to follow whatever they say, and everything will work out fine.
Mhm.
And apart from the best thing, I guess, to advise to them is be open minded and say and ask them or tell them what is in your mind, not just keeping it, because a person will not know what you're thinking, what's in your mind. And I guess in that way, if you have a good communication, then you will have a better, like, you know,
Yeah,
employment with your future employer.
yeah, that's true. It works for
Mhm.
everybody, basically.
Everyone. It's not
Yeah,
only for nanny work, but for everybody. Like
yeah.
for some people, even in a relationship,
Mhm.
you know, like you will just you hate he did something or I did something, but I just keep it in mind, and you keep the guy or the lady keeps on doing it because he or she don't know what that you don't like it. But
Yeah,
if you will say it, I was like, oh, I don't like what you did last night. I don't. So the person is aware. Oh, she or he don't like it, so I need to change it.
yeah,
So it applies to everybody, not only for nanny housekeeper, but for everyone.
That's
Okay.
that's
Yeah, for
true. Yeah.
everyone. Mhm.
And I was wondering, you are staying with this family for 7 years. Do you plan to stay with them for longer? Um,
To be honest with you, my contract will end in July.
mhm,
Yeah, July, my work visa will expire the 13th of July. Last year, I already told them that this will be my last year
mhm,
because for the fact that my children are finished in college. And that's the main reason why I came in here to support them with their studies. But with the pandemic right now, um, and I told them that um, it's hard for me to go home, especially with what's happening right now in the Philippines, full
mhm.
bed capacity in every
Yeah.
hospitals. And yeah, it's very hard, not only in the Philippines, but around the world. So, and I asked her as well if she already found one. And she said she interviewed like 10 people. And I just asked her next week. I mean, last week, sorry. And what happened? And then she said, "Oh, I don't have the resumes yet. I just interviewed. There are 10 people lined up. And then there's one that I interviewed, but because of the pandemic and I was getting busy after the pandemic, wedding resumes and everything. So she said she haven't found one yet. But I already told her that I want to go home and I want to change as well.
Mhm.
Um, you have to consider, as they say, there's always a greener pasture at the end of the. Um, I know I love the family, I love the children, but as I said, I have a life too that I need to take care of. And when you are stuck into something, and it's always to experience
Yeah.
different as well. It's not that, or maybe you move, why are you moving? Because people will question you, oh, if you love your family, why are you moving? But there are things as well that, oh, what if someone from, let's say, Canada or someone from Australia? So it's, I'm not getting any younger. So I guess it's the best experience for me as well to get to know other people or experience another with another family. And I guess, I guess I cannot say that I am being selfish because I have already done my part as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I wish you new, more interesting experiences. Thank you a lot for.
You're very much welcome, and thank you for conducting this interview.
Thank you. I am really, really glad to, yeah, to have this experience with you. And
Mhm.
yeah, thank you very, very much.
Okay. You have a great day, and thank you as well. Wish
Thanks.
you well. Okay, bye.